evening, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Myst. It's been a hot minute since we played Myst. The last time I was here is 2023, which clearly is not far enough in the past to be feeling nostalgic for it, but it's kind of strange to load this game back up again and it be the place that sort of started my Myst journey, if that makes sense, right? Because, we've played a lot of Cyan games now, and they're very kind of homely and really nice. I'm really excited. To play this game. So, we are playing Rime. New DLC, free DLC from Cyan, Okay, what do we got here? My friend, now that you have seen the destruction wrought by Sirrus and Achenar, you no doubt have a very specific idea of who they were. Greedy, envious, hateful men. But there is one more page to turn, one last age where I hope you might see them as I did. As my sons. Atrus. Rime, Volume 1. Oh, interesting. I assumed this would just be a linking book. Okay. Oh, we have Souffle in the chat. Good to see you. And we also have Trank0007. Both streams are synced up pretty close. That's excellent. Rime, I have named it. A desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I had expected or imagined. The intricate feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could sit and watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I have never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is unlike any other place I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence. Though the wind blows on occasion, when it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the distant cries of unseen creatures. I have visited 3 times, and am sure now that this age will provide the environment I need. I believe the cold temperature is critical for obtaining the necessary refraction of light. Examining the structure of the books is ever more perplexing, but I am driven onwards by my need to understand. The great tree of possibilities can never be fully grasped, but I must at least try to find one particular branch. Of course, the chance of using a blank linking book to find one specific age amongst the infinite variations that must exist is infinitesimal, like searching for a specific grain of sand on the beach. The only workable solution is to focus the connection of a damaged, unusable linking book. Perhaps I can bridge this much smaller gap. On the subject of enlightenment, I would also like to find the cause of the mysterious lights that shine in the darkness here. Though I never assumed that I would be able to build especially fast here, the speed at which I am progressing is somewhat disappointing. I do think I'll bring Sirrus and Achenar as well as some of the machinery from Celentic. Achenar chose to stay with Catherine, and while Sirrus was unhappy about the prospect of exploring a new age without his brother, he was still excited to come. He has spent the last few days here with me, helping me with the beginning phases of construction. He, too, seems to enjoy the ice and cold weather. He is intrigued with the crystals that we have brought with us. He has been a big help, as have others, and I hope to be able to begin my experiments here soon. Tonight, Sirrus and I found a wondrous spot to view the lights, although it seems they decided to hide from us. After sitting in the cold winds for over 2 hours, we saw nothing. It was rather disappointing. Sirrus will return to Myst tomorrow. He has been a tremendous aid to me, and I'm thankful for his willingness to help. He's excited to tell Achenar about his adventures, and it's clear to me how much he's missed his brother's company. The hard part of the construction is over, although I have decided after tonight that I would like to add some kind of observation post. I won't be finished as soon as I had hoped, though. I'm fairly certain it will be worth the delay in the long run. I've decided to take a break from the construction now that the tunnel is almost complete. I am quite convinced that with the right refraction, certain properties of the ink can be simulated. When I try to explain my theory to Catherine, she laughs and tells me I'm trying to hold infinity in a bottle. She laughs, and I laugh. Maybe she's right, but I must try regardless. I came too close to success on Everdunes. Besides, if all that comes from this effort is time spent with my sons, it will have been worthwhile. I am fairly certain now that temperature indeed does have an effect on the refractive properties of the crystals, but I have realised that temperature alone is not enough. Each crystal responds differently to the lower temperatures. And controlling the particulars is proving challenging. Perhaps focusing on another, more attainable goal in the short term will help. I should finish the shaft to my observation post while I have the machinery here, perhaps tomorrow morning. The lights were beautiful again last night. They had not shown themselves for so long that I'd almost forgotten their beauty. I still must find the cause. I'm feeling rather overwhelmed with what remains to be done. I have made no progress on the crystals. The shaft is not finished, nor is the observation post or even the lab. I've not seen Catherine for some time, and I long to spend more time with Achenar and Sirrus. Besides all of that, there are, far away in the back of my mind, the thoughts of my people and our lost city. I dreamt again of them last night. I have seen the city in its worst condition, and still its beauty overwhelmed me. Even now, as I visualise how majestic it must have been before the destruction caused by Veovis and Argerus, it amazes and saddens me. I am certain that Denis is not dead, my father believed. I am convinced that there must be some who managed to escape the destruction and even now continue to survive in separate ages. Within me is an urging to take the chance and return to Denis to find these survivors and properly rebuild our city. However, I can do nothing until I am certain of the fate of my father. If my plan failed, if I missed a single book when attempting to trap him on Riven, then he has been free all along. If that is true, then all that stands between him and the ages I have now written is the link from Denis to Myst. As much as I wish to return to Denis, without knowing the fate of my father, I cannot risk re-establishing that link. I must observe my father without re-establishing that link. It has been several years, and there have been many dead ends, but the solution is out there somewhere. I know it. At least I hope. Catherine will have her ideas about all of these things, and I miss her greatly. I will return to Rime later, when my mind has cleared. And we've got ourselves our first bit of clue. So let's take a screenshot here. We're going to go over here, and there's our first page for our notebook. In the meantime, let's catch up on the chat. We've got Bosser Boy, first time chatter. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, this is also the last page of the book as well. Huh. Right. Okay, so, not gonna lie, I somewhat thought that was a linking book. This looks very much like the extrusion projector though, doesn't it? So maybe that's a good place to start? Okay. Dr. Spire says, don't think I've seen this version of Rime. Could be exciting. Well, hopefully. I mean, I've not seen either version of Rime. I've been told that the two versions of Rime are sort of like a bit of a reimagining of Rime. So it's sort of like more like the Riven remake than the Myst remake, in that the Myst remake is my understanding. Now I've never played the original Myst, but my understanding is that it's pretty much like a one-for-one remake here. Okay. Do we need to set this? Yeah, okay, right. So we'll set this to 40. And that might do something for us. Oh, hello. The music might be a touch loud. At least it's a touch loud for me, anyway. But, and also, the music doesn't play when we're looking at our notebook. So that's something. Right, so here and here, fine. And then that's the other clue. Okay, let's just press the button. Let's just press the button. Oh. Okay, hang on. What have we got here? Okay, I mean, we're... So the code 2735. That button, which is clearly what this circle is supposed to indicate, right? Because this is the top-down view on the holographic extruder. So that gives us this. $27.35. Well, first puzzle of the DLC, right? It's very fiddly on the turning. So I don't think this can be a combination lock, right? Because it's a little bit too finicky for it to be like, oh yeah, turn this like a certain number of clicks, right? Because if I try and turn it, it's like, nah. Because the clicks also don't really correspond to its spots as well. I mean, it has... Yeah, you can put it at the 90-degree point, and you can put it at the 45-degree point. With quite a bit of, like, fiddling, to be fair. So that means it's got 8 positions it can be in. This is just going to turn the table off, presumably. There's nothing else on this panel that's... Oh, wait, hang on. No. No, that's just going to step me away from it. There's nothing else on this panel that's interactable, except for this... Is it just a screw? Do we just unscrew it? It's worth a go, right? Oh, man. Right, hang on. Is there something else on the table? No, that's just a reflection in the floor. Oh dear. This is like prime Cyan worlds. This ain't firmament. So was there something else in the book that I've kind of missed? Was there something else in the... Is there any rhyme or reason to this thing, says Jaffrus. Jolly good. See, I wouldn't put it past them to turn something that was previously non-interactable into something that's interactable, you know? Now that the hand automatically becomes visible if you move over something that's interactable. So that's okay. That's okay. Right, so we don't have to click everything. We can just sort of wave our wand around. Okay, right, no. Back to the book. Immediately back to the book. I don't remember Myst having birds. Okay. No, so these are diagrams from Rime itself. That's a picture of Danae. That's the arch. The diagram has it sort of upwards. The diagram has it upwards, and we've also got these two lights are on, or at least these ones kind of have their beams. The real Myst version, the entrance to Rime was a little more obvious. Okay. Oh man, do you know what? It's going to be I've had this with so many games over the years, right? Like with Taiji, with Ellingby House, we spent the first half an hour of episode 1 stuck, and Obsidian as well. We spent like 45 minutes of episode 1 of Obsidian just being stuck on the first puzzle, and it's like, oh man. Maybe the secret is that actually it turns out I slightly suck at this. Okay. So the diagram has this pointing at the, like, upward, like this. No. Blah. Like that. That's where the diagram has it. These are all available in the base game, for sure. It's a bit of a leap in this version, a little bit out of this world. Oh, right. It also doesn't help that it's been a while since I looked at the island. Oh, hang on, wait. Is it that... Wait, topographical extrusion test is 40? Yeah. Yeah, so that is the island. Unless it's something else, somewhere else in the island. Oh, the diagram shows the initial setup of the panel. Ah, boo. I wonder... Oh, no. I stepped away from it. Or is it supposed to be representative of, like, a path on the island? Because there's this whole puzzle in Myst about, like, rotating the dial on the map to rotate the tower round. And this could be quite evocative of that. Dodo Sevenger in both chats. It's good to have you in both chats, of course. Okay, let's go and have a wander around and see if anything kind of feels out of place. Because, let's be honest, Myst ain't that big of a place. It's more like, you know, a private island than it is a... Right, now, no need to go there. Right, we definitely don't need to link anywhere else that isn't here, right? Ominous music. Yeah, right, we got one of those. The switches around the islands are like it's a bit of a devious one though. That puzzle wasn't it? No, that's not anything. This one would definitely end up on our list of chairs with threatening aura. I am absolutely committed to, when we finish the Myst series, we are going to video essay the heck out of it. My plan, essentially, is to rank all of the chairs that feature in the Myst series from most welcoming to most threatening. That is my plan for after we have beaten Myst 5. I am inspired, of course, by the great work that was done in that video ranking all of the elevators from best to worst, which was a great video if you guys haven't seen it. It was very kind of funny. I liked it. Oh, I mean, spider chair. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it would be a hard. It would be a close run thing as to which chair is the most threatening, right? I'm sensing a good place to start. Maybe might just be in the library, you know. Let's open that up. Hang on a minute. Sirrus coded. Well, Sirrus and... yeah, by threatening aura do I mean Sirrus coded. Sirrus and Ghen have got strong chair game, right? Like, I think Ghen would have really liked Sirrus had he met him. And, you know, they both also had a very similar sense of fashion, despite the fact I don't think they ever met each other. But, yeah, I mean, it would be a kind of close-run thing, because you've got the spider chair in Spire, you've got the fishing outpost on Riven, you've got the projection chair. That's not very, you know, and then you've kind of got like the Emperor Palpatine chair from the underwater observatory. And then yeah, you kind of have the dentist chair in Myst. I think those are probably all the most threatening ones. Probably. But yeah, so it would be a pretty close. I think it would be a pretty close race. Okay. Right. Okay. That's why there are two handles. Yes. It's all coming back to me now. Yeah, and as far as this thing goes, this is just which switches are turned on. I'm trying to think. 2735, like, that's got to be. We've got to be in. Right. I'm sort of thinking, if it's not something as obvious as a code that we enter into the map extrusion room, we should be looking for somewhere to put 2735 into. So it could be the power. Wait, hang on. Is the power... No, that's power and power to ship. That's just a 2-digit number, not a 4-digit number. Dodo thought, this'll probably be a really quick stream because Rime is small. Maybe we'll take a look at another game later on this evening. You wildly overestimate our ability to knock these out quickly. That's a 3-digit code. That's a 3-digit code. 2735 can't be a time, so the clock's no good for us. I don't think the spaceship has anything of relevance in it. It's got the keyboard. Yeah, no, that's not going to do anything for us. Oh, that's quite alright, Dodo. No worries at all. The dentist's chair takes dates as an input. The dentist's chair takes dates. Well, it can't be a time. I mean, it could be a date. 2735, but there's no... I mean, you know... So, 27... Like, there's not going to be any harm in doing this, right? 2735. Go. But, like, we don't have the rest of the date or the time. Wow, you wouldn't have thought it would move that far in an hour, but it totally does. Luxum says, fun fact, they had a chair be standing up as opposed to the dentist style as it was causing too much nausea in VR. Yeah, I can imagine that. They changed a lot of the chairs in the Riven remake as well, which I guess must have been for the same reason. But yeah, like VR's kind of hard in that way because you don't, you know, you'd never want to take control of the camera away from the player, but that can make it really hard to ensure that the player is looking in the direction you need them to be looking. Oh, someone says, whisper to me. You have block whispers from strangers on. That's two members of the chat talking to each other about what we're doing here. It just kind of feels to me like this should be able to like slide or do something other than just spin. The real puzzle is getting to the puzzle, says Star Shadow. And we've got to the wander about till we work out what's going on time. Ah, shoot. That is true, that is true. Okay, right. Ah. Okay. We've been at this for half an hour. I'm calling time. I'm calling time. I feel like we need a hint. We need a hint. Oh my god. That's actually kind of awkward to ask for a hint on puzzle number 1. Please don't. I'm seeing the comment section now. I'm seeing the comment section already. I keep leaving it in the starting position. Oh shoot, is it really just as simple as we need to just like fiddle with it until it works? What? Okay, so if I leave it somewhere that isn't the starting position... I'm one click away. Oh no, what? What? Huh? Oh, hang on, wait. Is it that I'm trying to make a path that it can, like, zigzag like that? What? Does the panel look from... One click away, 5 times already. Oh my word. No, this is all going wrong. I'm asking for hints and I'm still not getting it. This is like the worst case scenario. Oh. Okay. Frank's hint is amazing. Out of this world was my hint. Like, I picked up on that and I thought maybe that was related to the observatory. Maybe, but... I like that it still looks like the old cyan logo. Huh. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that must be a reference, right? Out of this world. Oh, out of this world! Cyan worlds! Is it? But wait. Mine wasn't a hint, just an observation. So hang on. So is the puzzle wholly limited to this room? Or does changing this dial change something outside this room? Right, okay. The shape I'm looking for is on the island somewhere. Okay, right. It changes something elsewhere. Okay. I'm getting into full panic mode now, because we're like nearly an hour into this episode and we've not got to Rime yet. I'm in serious danger of like needing to rename this episode. Like, the place I would most likely guess it would change would be, like, in the library or in the tower. Just because that's kind of, like, the hub of the whole island. It changes something elsewhere. It's quite a bit bigger elsewhere, but also smaller somewhere else. Oh, wait, hang on. Is it the ship? Is it the ship? No. Well, it could either be the ship or the planetarium. Is it the ship? Is it the ship? These hints are so devious. Look at the map in the library. Oh, shoot. Yeah, no, the map in the library has all of the things which are also bigger and smaller elsewhere. The map in the library. Wait! Oh, look! Look! We got a thing! Hang on. Oh, it's is it these? So wait. What? Hang on. Are we? Okay, thinking. So what changes? Hang on, I'm looking for something that's interactable, but it doesn't look like it's here. Let's take a picture, and we will see if I can see anything that's different. Right? So let's grab a picture of all of that bit there, and we'll put that in our notebook. Okay, and then coming back here, let's go and fiddle with the dial again. The YouTube chat is kicking off. It's like, it's not rocket science, guys. That's funny. Right, so if I move this to, say, the opposite side, to like there. Does that change something out here? Okay. Like, it kind of feels like... Is this supposed to be, like, rotating round or something? I mean, it's solid brick, though, right? That seems not super likely. In the original, it popped a thing up in the middle of the library. I mean, I don't think there's anything... Yeah, that's not going to do anything for us there. Okay, right. So looking at my picture... So looking at the picture I took, I don't see anything like wildly different. Okay, let's think about like another configuration. So we've got these portholes, but these are all identical to each other, right? Like they're literally all identical to each other. It's just like one asset. So okay, let's try and fiddle with the thing some more. Okay, chat says there's something changing in the overworld. So right, let's move it. Let's try moving it down. Way, there we go. Oh, so, wait. Okay. So if you were half off or half off in the other direction, you'd see like half the door open, I suppose. So I guess you've got like a 3 in 8 chance of accidentally finding it. But what even... Oh, hello. Well, that looks like where we need to go, doesn't it? So let's do that. Yay! We did it, team. Oh shoot! Imagine being in. Oh, actually, yeah. One of the internet historians in the chat will be able to let us know. When was the original Rime released, and how does that compare to the timeline of Myst's? Yeah, how does that compare to the timeline of Riven, Myst 3 and Myst 4? Because obviously we found out a lot about Sirrus and Achenar in Myst 4. But we also found out a lot about Ghen in Riven. So I'm presuming this DLC is... If this is real Myst, well, real Myst came out in like the 2000s, right? So this must be like after Riven, but before Mistfall? Am I right on that one? Okay, here we go! We have made some progress, and we can put a number in. 2735? OG Rime was part of the original real Myst and does not conflict with Riven. Right. So yeah, so it was after Riven. Okay. 35. Luxum says, Rime was there all along, we just didn't have access to it prior to Real Myst. Yeah, James says, on the plus side, only 8 orientations, yeah, so there is a limit to the amount that you can, like, cause yourself serious problems. Okay, we ready for some Rime? Let's go! The title of my stream finally becomes accurate. Oh, interesting. The events in Rime are set prior to Riven. Okay. Yes, that would make sense, because we're still the same stranger, right? Although we've just released Atrus, so it's yeah, it's kind of concurrent in the timeline still. We're still effectively stuck on Myst because we can't get sent back to Earth until after the events of Riven. All right. Ooh, it's very atmospheric. Nope, that's not a path. Okay. So, what do we got? Oh, we have got a blocked door over here. That is an extendable ladder. Okie dokie. So everything's kind of frozen up a little bit. I assume we need to get fuel and power running first. There's sort of weird artifacts on the screen. It kind of looks like snow, but it's sort of static. That's weird, that is. I assume that's just supposed to be part of the snow rather than intentional. Okay, we've got a path underneath the bridge. Hey, that looks a lot like a generator, doesn't it? What's wrong with you? You out of fuel? Come on, open up. Yeah, you need to be primed. This is... lovely. Oh. We should probably close this. Like, we don't want that frosting up in there. That won't be good for it at all. Ooh, now I've seen this on the promotional material, so this must be important. Well, that's odd. It's fixed. There's like no way to move it. Okay. Ice crystals. Ice crystals. Straight on your eyes. Am I from the northern part of the Isle? Do I get snow or frost? Not much. I'm from the south. I'm from the south of the UK. Although I did live in the north for many years. I really enjoyed living in the north. It's really nice. It's a really, really nice part of the country. So yeah, I mean, we'd get snow and frost occasionally, but it's really not like frost. Yes, like we get frost like all winter long most days, but snow rarely, like once or twice a year maybe. Okay, is there any other interactable part of this furnace? Am I missing something here? Otherwise I'm going to go back outside and look at that pipe work again. Right. Ah! Missed the valve. Why would Atrus turn the valve off? I guess... when he left Rime, he really packed it up for the winter. Great. Okay, so we've got the fire going. That should gradually warm the room up. That still won't let those open, though. Maybe there's something on the table. There you go. It gradually defrosts the door and the ladder. Oh man, we are smashing through this. Great stuff. Oh, it's a whale! Okay, take a picture of that, because that migration path might be important later. So we're just going to add that to our little notebook. This is 523, Property of Sirrus. Audiobook Adventures. It's very exciting to get to see one of Father's ages so soon after he completes it. Usually he makes us wait so long before allowing us to visit. He told me Rime would be cold, but I was still completely surprised by just how much breathing in the air hurt. Father gave me this journal for my Rime observations. He said that Achenar would also get one when he visits, and not to spoil the surprise. I hope I can convince my brother to come next time. Now that I'm more used to the cold, I can see how beautiful this place is. Father's skill with the art is amazing. Father explained his theories about the Everdune's crystals today. He wants to try and build a machine to view ages without linking to them. He hopes that the crystals will refract light through the linking panels and show what's on the other side. It sounds impossible, but I know he can figure it out. I've begun my experiments on the crystals. Father asked me to find a way to control how much each crystal refracts light. He even gave me my own workspace just like this. I'll start by leaving each crystal out in the cold for different lengths of time to see if the different temperature changes anything. I can solve this, I know it. Father has asked me to return home to Myst. I hope it's not because I'm distracting him. I know I have a lot of questions, but he asked me to do these experiments. I just want to keep trying to figure it out. If you're wondering, yes, I am going to continue to read Sirrus in evil voice. Achenar decided to join me this time. Watching his shock at the cold was very amusing. Father has built more dwelling space, and now we have a wonderful spot to view the lights. He asked us to help him finish the construction, but soon I will return to my crystal experiments. I've come up with some new ideas while away that I'm excited to test. I'm not having much success with the crystals. The amount of refraction is always changing. I can't seem to get a constant reading. It's very frustrating. But I realised something. I think Father's approach might be wrong. There's just no way to get reliable refraction from these crystals like this. I think I have an idea to solve it, but I don't know how to bring it up. I don't want to sound foolish to Father. Maybe he knows best, and I just don't see things like he does. Achenar encouraged me to tell Father about my idea, so at last I did. He called it brilliant! He started working with Achenar to build a machine to cut the crystals straight away. It's nice to see my ideas accepted so quickly without being told they're unworkable or unsound. We're back from Myst again. It was a nice break from all the snow and ice. Father asked us to return to Rime without him, which he only does when he needs to talk to Mother about something serious. Why can't they just say what they want in front of me? I'm not a child anymore. When I'm grown and have sons of my own, I won't ever hide serious things from them. We finally saw the whales tonight. We hear their song once in a while, but they've never come close enough for us to see until now. From the big cliff behind the observation tower, we saw a massive whale appear in the cove, followed by two smaller ones. Father said there were 3 of them, just like us. Then he laughed and called us his little whale calves. That is a great way to give your child a complex at a very young age. Pro tip, don't use that as an affectionate nickname. Which got a groan from me and a handful of snow from Achenar. I wanted to stay out and keep watching, but Father lectured me about how it was too dangerous to be there alone. I protested, but he just gave me that sad look that means, let it go. I'm so sorry, Father and Mother. If I die, I'm so sorry. My brother bandaged me up and said that my thick skull protected me, but I know it could have been a lot worse if he hadn't found me. Achenar, thank you, and I'm sorry. I've been back working with Father for a few days now, but I've been too tired to write. I keep needing to take breaks to sit and rest because my side still aches quite a lot. Achenar keeps giving me looks, but I'll be okay. I want to see this to the end. We're very close to completing the crystal imager, but I'm really nervous. What if it doesn't work? Will we have to start all over again? Sounds like we'll find out tomorrow. It works! We saw Myst Island. We were even able to see Stone Ship by lenses. I can't believe it. My brother and I kept going back and forth between books, reading out the lens settings and viewing each age over and over again as if it were a game. Father seems more relieved that the work is finally completed. I'm sure he misses Mother too. I can't wait to return home and tell her what we did. And then we've got a nice little code. Bonk, bonk. And we'll get that onto here. Excellent. Now, do you know what, actually? I've realised I've actually been incredibly neglectful and I have not been calling out chats and subs because, yeah, it seems like, because this is my first time back in quite a while, I don't have my notifications don't seem to be working. Falcon V700, thank you very much for the sub. Thank you, that's very much appreciated, and I'm sorry I totally missed that notification and didn't shout you out sensibly. I think that's the only sub I missed, so yeah. James says, if, on the other hand, you want your child to grow up evil, make sure they only ever refer to you as father. Interesting. So, yeah, well, yeah, I shall neglect to comment what my children call me. It reminds me of that scene in Tree of Life. If you've not seen Tree of Life, it's worth a watch. Tree of Life is a movie that it's a little bit like 2001, right? In that it is, and this is from a review from the time. This is not my words. I'm quoting, but it's something I certainly agree with. That Tree of Life is not so much a movie you watch; it is a movie you experience. It is very, very thin on plot and very, very thick on visual symbolism. But Tree of Life has this brilliant scene where you've got Brad Pitt shouting at his son that he is not to call him daddy, he is to call him father, and oh man, yeah, hits you right in the feels. But yeah, Tree of Life. Now there's an obscure film recommendation for you. Let me know if you've seen it. I rate it. This is Achenar's journal. Another gift journal from father. He doesn't quite get that I barely use these. Then again, here I am writing in it, so I guess I shouldn't complain. It's always a kind gesture. My brother was right. The lights in the sky are unbelievable to see firsthand. The way they dance and shimmer behind the clouds fills me with the kind of peace that's hard to put into words. Sirrus paces when he's either trying to work out a difficult problem or when he's upset. Tonight, it's upset pacing, head down, staring at the floor, big wide stride. Usually I just let him stew until he sorts it out, but he's been going on for hours like this. Guess I'll just have to be the big brother and talk him through it. Turns out he was upset because he thinks Father's ideas for the crystals are wrong and he's too nervous to admit it to him. I always knew Father's opinions mattered a lot to Sirrus, but he needs to get past this idea that Father can never be wrong. Working outside for too long causes a dull ache behind my eyes. Even the normal light here is off somehow. I'm not sure how they deal with it. Maybe my brother's thick skull blocks it out. Sirrus, if you're reading this, that was a joke. Don't go crying to Father. Father asked me to help him design and build a device for cutting the crystals into thin sheets. From the big grin on Sirrus's face, it's clear that this was a big idea he was afraid to share. Looks like I was right again. This little brat thinks he's being so sneaky. I'm watching you over there, scribbling down your little plans. Look at you. You think no one knows what you're planning, but I do. Guess I'll have to keep an eye on him. Stupid child. Stupid pea-brained idiot. I was right. He snuck out to watch for the stupid whales. Slipped and cracked his head on some ice. Could have gone right over the edge if I hadn't been there. Writing just so I have something to put my mind to. His injury seemed severe at first, but after cleaning it, I can see it isn't serious. A big scrape on his side and a really good knock on his head were the worst of it. He begged me not to tell Father, as if there was any chance I would. As clever as he is, Sirrus is still just a child. Told Father Sirrus felt ill and needed a day to sleep it off. He nodded and immediately asked me to help him with his work. I know he cares for us both, but would it kill him to at least be a little concerned? Though I have to admit, it was nice to spend the day working together, just us. It's been a long time since we've done that. Father is absorbed in the final touches of his book device, so I doubt he'll notice if I repurpose some of the leftover parts from Stone Ship. I have a little project of my own in mind. Shouldn't take more than a few hours if I just bolt the entire thing to the railing. Father's device works. Being able to see Channelwood without physically being there is truly unbelievable. For all their kind words about how much I contributed, I know this is more of their achievement than mine. They deserve to be proud. And then we've got ourselves a second code. So if I were to take a guess, based on what is being mentioned, I'd say that's probably Channelwood, and this one is Stoneship. Or Myst. One of the two. Dodo has seen Tree of Life. Definitely a cool movie, but you need to be in the right headspace for it. I totally agree with that. It's definitely an arty movie, Tree of Life. But you would say it's not that obscure, but you only know 3 people who watched it, including me. Is one of the other 2 you? Because I would say that is a bit obscure. Like, depending on how many people you know, I suppose. Tada for Real has entered the chat. Thank you very much for the compliment. Thank you. I do enjoy a good audiobook. I sometimes think there's an alternate reality where I started reading audiobooks as a way to pass the time. But to be honest, with the rise of AI being what it is, and AI voiceover being fairly convincing nowadays in many ways, I just don't see... I'm very concerned for what the state of, you know, voice acting is going to be in the long run, to be honest. So we can go between 200 and 1,000, and then we pull the lever to see if we are... Ugh! Okay. That's definitely kind of one of those levers that we probably shouldn't pull unless we kind of know what we are supposed to be setting that to, maybe. Is there any more up? No. Is there any down? Three is still not many, my mind. Just at first thought. Many people must know it. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I'm sure many people will have heard of it, because, I mean, it was... I mean, it's got Brad Pitt in it. Like, I mean, it's, you know, it's got some named people in it. Like, I think Sean Penn might be in it as well. That button is, like, I mean, it probably just calls the lift, but to be honest, how would the lift ever be not where you are in this instance, you know? Let's crank it up to 1,000 and see what happens. Oh! Well, it didn't do that before. Interesting. Voice acting, animation, a lot of the arts are in danger. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And, it's something that I have found a genuine difficulty in forming a reasonable opinion on. Right. Oh, hang on. Oh, we got a button here. Ah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, it's something that I've found, like, genuine difficulty trying to form a reasonable opinion on, right? Because... it's a Pandora's box kind of situation, right? Large companies are going to use AI to reduce their costs, right? Like, that's kind of clearly obvious. So now I hadn't realised, possibly because it is an old enough game that it actually slightly predates the controversy, but I hadn't realised until someone pointed out to me in the YouTube comment section that Firmament was considered somewhat controversial because they used AI in their design process, which genuinely is not clear from the Steam page at all. On the other hand, though, Cyan Worlds did then make a press release later kind of explaining what they used the AI for, and it's to help them in the ideation phase, but all the assets are actually made by hand, and they didn't actually use any AI to actually generate any of the assets, just to kind of bounce ideas off the chatbot and whatever. Now, I mean, Cyan is not a big company, right? Cyan's about the size of like a large independent studio or a medium-sized independent studio. At the very, very small end of the scale, you have like true indie creators. Now, there exist out there incredibly talented people, right, who are able to do everything, right? People like Toby Fox, people like Lucas Pope, right? They can do the music, they can do the art, they can do everything. But some people are not in the position where they are talented enough in a multifaceted way to be able to. Because, you know, maybe their talents are design rather than music, or maybe their talents are art rather than, you know, story writing. And so I kind of feel like I want to give a certain amount of leeway to the idea that maybe we're now supposed to go down again. I want to give a certain amount of leeway to the idea that for like really, really small indie teams, maybe generative AI is a useful tool for them, but I don't know. It's something that I'm genuinely finding hard to come to a conclusion about, because it doesn't feel to me as cut and dried as it's wrong to use it, but clearly it's not ideal for a lot of situations, and I don't know. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on it. Yeah. Shirts! We got shirts! But yeah, you know. Sorry for just, like, rambling incoherently for, like, 10 minutes there. So Souffle says, as an artist, here's my opinion. AI should be a tool, not a result. Okay. I like it. I like it. Myself, I've used AI to bounce ideas off of, but never for anything else. Granted, I don't make games, though. As a tool, I think it's a good way to think about it. Hey, we have a Myst linking book. Well, I don't think we need that straight away, right? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? What do we have here? Rime Volume 2. Okay, we'll launch into that in a minute. Is there anything else in this little bedroom that needs our... Okay. What's going on? Oh shoot, this is actually just a tap. Right, that's just going to keep going. Atrus has absolutely cleaned this place to the point where it's like, okay, let's like shut down the generators, let's turn the valves off, etc, etc. And he's left dirty dishes in the sink. Like, what? Oh, we also have a drawer. We've got a lot of opinions coming through the chat about AI as a tool. Just Voice says, I actively avoid AI and products that use it. Yeah, fair enough. Like, I think disclosure is absolutely necessary, right? Like, Ellingby House, you know, I would give them a lot of credit for being very upfront in their disclosure on their Steam page about where they have used AI and what they have used it for. And that game's a really, really great game, and I would hope, because they've used AI for some of the voice acting, I would sort of hope that if the game is successful and they make a lot of money off it, then maybe they would choose to go back and patch it with voice actors rather than AI voices, because the AI voices are a little bit off here and there in the game. But I also appreciate that it's a game that's kind of made on a bit of a shoestring budget. It's literally like a 2-person family development team. So, like, you know, the budget is the budget, right? So, yeah. Trank says, how about AI for coding? Many people consider programming an art form. That is a very good question. Souffle is making a game right now, as she did last year, not used AI. I don't think artists should ever have to use AI. Though if you find yourself in a pickle and you really cannot afford to support an artist, then I reckon it's okay to use it as a tool. That's a really interesting take. Honestly, AI is just like any other new technology we ever invented. It's always destructive in some ways, but opens up new possibilities in others. And true art will always triumph over AI unless we get to a real conscious AI. Yeah. I mean, obviously, in the news recently has been the new Studio Ghibli filter, right? And that's really what prompted me into really trying to think about this very hard, because you've got an AI filter that is producing art not in a kind of broad general form, but is replicating the style of a particular artist who is on record as saying that he does not like AI art. And that, I think, creates a certain amount of uncomfortableness in me, because you are, you know, you're not reproducing like a Renaissance style or a, you know, I'm not enough of an artist to even really be able to talk about, you know, like a realistic style or an anime style or a Renaissance style or a Baroque style. You are literally doing it in a Miyazaki style, like a particular artist's vision, an artist who is still alive. So it's not even like stealing Mondrian and making AI versions of Mondrian or something like that, you know. So yeah. Atrus, I understand why viewing Riven is so vital to you. In truth, I have not stopped thinking about my home since the moment we escaped. But no matter how much you insist you're simply ensuring Ghen remains trapped there, I see my own sadness when I look into your eyes. Ghen is a monster who deserves his imprisonment, but I also know he will always be your father. Atrus, my love, do you wish only to affirm that the cage still holds? Or is there something more significant to you that you're searching for? Yours, Catherine. It's very interesting that Atrus and his wife have the kind of relationship where they write letters to each other. It's like they see each other infrequently enough that they communicate by post. Before spending any more time with my experiments, I have decided that I must finish construction. I have brought both Sirrus and Achenar this time. The shaft is almost finished, as is the observation post. Both boys prefer inside where it's warm, protected from the cold. Neither of them shows any real desire to leave. I can't remember the last time my son spent so much time with me in an age. Last night Sirrus came to me with a hypothesis that may solve the crystal refraction issue entirely. His suggestion involved cutting the crystals into thin lenses before attempting to filter light through them, an idea that came to him whilst thinking about the properties of my eyeglasses. I can't help but smile at the idea of Sirrus watching me stare through the solution right on my nose. This is an unconventional approach, but his reasoning is sound. With Achenar's help, I believe we can repurpose some of the equipment already in the workroom to fashion these crystal lenses. Progress on the lenses is slow, as the crystals are prone to shatter if handled incorrectly. Despite the setbacks, my sons are wholly engrossed in this task, and seeing them work together gives me great hope for the future. I long for the day I can bring them to Denis to see its beauty for themselves. I know they will prove themselves indispensable to any restoration efforts I might undertake. Eventually, I will need to tell them about Riven, but there is much to do before it becomes a concern. The lenses have been completed. Tonight we will return to Myst Island and to Catherine. It has been too long without the warmth of either, and we all deserve a break. While there, I'll need to collect some additional linking books. It brings me no joy, but the only way to test the device is to intentionally damage several of them and ensure the device can still create a focused image. We only spent a day with Catherine before returning. I was still working up the courage to ask her for it, but before I could begin speaking, she had placed the book in my hands. It was the waterlogged linking book to Riven I had thrown into the sea the moment we were back in Myst, free of my father. I knew destroying the book was only a symbolic gesture, as the descriptive book still remained in Kavir, but I was young and angry. I remember Catherine swimming out to retrieve it despite my objections. "You should keep it, you may want it later," she told me. At the time, the idea upset me. Why would I want a reminder of that place? But once again, she was right. We said our goodbyes, and I returned to Rime, humbled by her foresight and love, as well as the note she had secretly tucked under the book's cover. It has been several days. Hang on, just a quick double check, right? That's a note underneath the book's cover. The book in this context is the Riven book. The Riven book. Secret note. Let's bear that in mind. It has been Oh, the note. That's going to be what we found in the drawer. That's going to be the letter from the drawer, presumably. Because Atrus would have no reason to tuck the note back into the cover. It has been several days with no progress. No matter how we alternate the lenses, only the faintest, blurriest image appears. Did I damage the books too severely? Is the number of lenses too few? Or too many? The number of variables feels insurmountable. The boys find their own methods of encouragement. They've not given up hope, and so I must follow their example. For now, I've decided to refocus my efforts on the lights in the night sky. Although I originally thought the effect to be an organic one, I now believe it to be an electromagnetic in origin. I think the effect could be triggered somehow. It's something that we'll have to try. I doubt either of my sons were expecting the amount of work it would take. It has turned out to be a challenge. Working above the cold waters where the wind cuts through clothing and skin like a sharp knife. Still, even amid the dark cold, they are driven to complete the task. It is a side of them I have not seen before. Let me just have a reread of that section. Lights in the night sky. Electromagnetic. Right, triggering it somehow. That's the thing on the top of the thing. Right. Okay. The towers are finished. The power they require is conducted directly through the saline sea, alleviating the need for wires and enabling us to locate the towers a comfortable distance away. We are close now. Tomorrow, after adjusting the voltage, we will know just how close. Quick shout out to the chat. We've got Adion Writer finally catching me live, and we have Catechins. Good evening to you as well. Catechins has never seen me live, apparently. Excellent. It's great to have you all here. We've got an amazing crowd between Twitch and YouTube. We've got around about 30 people live, which is amazing. Thank you all very much for the support. That's really excellent. Consider joining the Discord if you're not members of the Discord already. This morning as we worked, I noticed Achenar rubbing his eyes and groaning under his breath. Until now I had simply assumed it was fatigue, but then he asked if either Sirrus or I ever got headaches from how strange the light is here compared to other ages. It took a few moments for the full weight of his observation to hit me. Achenar had inadvertently noticed that the frequency of the visible light in Rime is completely unique to this age. Something so important yet so subtle that it had gone unseen thus far. Of course, the lenses could not focus the linking panels of the books. They were calibrated assuming a standard frequency range. We shall repurpose the towers to allow the manipulation of light in the sky and project it through the lenses, giving us much finer control. We will need to find the correct combined frequency and construct an additional tower to transfer the light to the imaging device. But I believe that work will go quickly. We are so close now, I can feel it. We've got 1400 here, so that's going to be the sum of those two numbers which run from 200 to 1000. Good to know. Another hard day, but we have erected the final tower. I'm too tired to write tonight. Tomorrow, we test Achenar's theory. Achenar and Sirrus have some kind of shared secret they are keeping from me. I admit to great curiosity about what it could be, but I believe it's better to let them have something that is theirs alone. Truth be told, I am glad to see them relying on each other more. It has taken longer than I could ever have imagined, but this morning we were able to get a nearly perfect view of an age through a damaged book. It's an incredible sensation, like standing in two worlds at once. It is so much more than I could have done alone. The boys are so proud, and I want to return to Myst Island immediately to tell their mother about it, which is just as well. It's time they learned about Riven. Okay. Aeon Core. On the topic of AI, Aeon Core says, I played a game called Metal Garden recently. Highly recommended, by the way. It couldn't avoid voice actors and used in-world UI elements over the characters' heads much better than AI voice grating at me. Yeah, fair enough. And Dodo says, in the end it's all about us voting with our money, but as most people will not be able to distinguish if it's AI or not, and after a while won't care at all, it'll just be used everywhere at some point. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the concern, right? Like, how much of a differentiator is it to say, I don't use AI in my products, you know? Interesting, we have the ability, potentially, to put something in there. Unusual. Because, now, unlike Riven, which did have a little bit of you can carry the food into the trap, I don't think Myst had anything like that. So that might not be a puzzle. I have a feeling that might just be like a little interactable widget rather than it being anything. Incidentally, what Atrus was just writing about is sort of very much something we've discussed before on the channel, right? Can the art change the laws of physics within an age it creates? And the answer to that, clearly, canonically, is yes, right? I mean, we've talked about, you know, Catherine's donut world and so on. I'm linking back to Myst in case this takes us somewhere new that we've never been before, incidentally, right? Because the linking books, they could go anywhere on the Myst age, but it might just drop us in the library, and indeed it does. So that actually doesn't really do much for us, to be honest. It's just a way back to Myst. Yeah, I mean, we've discussed before how Catherine's Donut Age must imply that the laws of physics in that age are different. But I think this is the first time that, you know, the actual writing in one of the books literally says, yes, this is effectively, you know, this is effectively an intentional thing that we have written into the story. Trank says, natural frequency of light being different would indicate a difference in C. That is potential, yes, potentially. I was thinking, this is where, so Trank and I are both physicists originally. I was assuming it was going to be related to a fundamental difference in electron energy levels within atoms. So, you know how sodium light is a very particular frequency of yellow? I was assuming that what Atrus meant by the light here is a slightly different frequency was that he meant that, like, literally the atomic energy levels were slightly different, and so light is being emitted at a slightly different frequency than you would expect. But yeah. Multiverse, not changing physics, different physics existing. Yes, well, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, as we discussed in Myst 4, it's not only the case of different physics existing, and it's also different metaphysical reality, essentially, right? Because in Myst 4, it's been shown that you can write an age that literally has gods in it, right? Which don't exist in other ages. And at the time, when we played the Riven remake, right, I postulated, and this is like possibly the most amazing clutch or the most amazing prediction I ever came up with, but I postulated that maybe there are ages where you could meet races of aliens, for example, that are able to link without using the art. And it wasn't until Uru that it was like, oh shoot, that actually exists in this story, which is amazing. And I was just like, oh man, that was like, that might be the best prediction I've ever come up with, to be honest. And not just in Myst, that might be like the best prediction I've ever come up with in anything. The Barrow, they're the ones that can link between ages without having to use the art. So, yeah. I'm looking now for, like, the next thing we have to do. So we've got some codes, and what we have in those codes is like a sum of two numbers, but we're gonna need some way of breaking that down, because there's a lot of ways that you can add numbers up to make 1400. Yeah. Alien Writer says, we mostly see ages that Atrus wrote, and he's a very logical, scientific. You think in Myst 4, he notes being confounded and annoyed by Catherine's ages because he can't make logical sense of them. Yeah, indeed. Do you know what? The name of the age is escaping me. The one with all of the monks on it. The one I was referencing as having like literal gods living in it. That is one of Catherine's ages, I believe, and it's got like floating rocks off in the distance, which is kind of wild, right? Like, okay, let's call the elevator down. Oh, wait, did we leave the elevator at the top? We didn't leave the elevator at the top, did we? That's strange. Myst 5 dives pretty heavy into the alternative races too. I'm really looking forward to Myst 5, you know. Oh! Is there an alternate button? Is there an alternate button? Let's move round here. No, it's the same button, it's just we've been rotated around. Right. Fine. There's no way to set that going. It's very odd, because we certainly didn't leave this elevator in the up position. We were downstairs. We were in this room, indeed. Dodo reminds us that it was Serenia was the name of the age. Yes, yes it was. Thank you. Yeah, Serenia was a really nice age. I really enjoyed Serenia. Not the puzzles in Serenia. Oh, no, that's just activating the drawer. Not the puzzles in Serenia so much, you understand. I enjoyed the age itself. I enjoyed, like, the aesthetic of it, the vibe of it. Okay, we're going to go back out onto the upper face of the snowdrift in a second to look for something. Because there must be something out there. Like, there might not be anything in here. Right? But there must be something out there, you know. C being different would break a lot of normal physics too. If C were different, would a lot of physics break? I would have to have a real think about that one. That sounds like the title of a great Kurzgesagt video, though, doesn't it? Oh, it's a whale, look! Oh, we've seen him. There we go. Pack it up, guys. We can go home. Like, we've seen the main attraction right there. Like, if you were to change something like the charge on an electron, like the fundamental unit charge, that really would break the universe, like 100%. I'm just trying to think, like, if you were to adjust C by like a couple of percent, what would fundamentally break? I would need to have a real think about that. Because C, like the speed of light itself, changes in various media, like all the time, right? But I'm totally willing to be corrected, right? Because I'm not very good at like really deep hypotheticals. It's definitely not my strong suit. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, how long? Dr. Spire was holding his words for so long after I was making those predictions. Well, yeah, because we played the Riven remake, like, what? 2020... Yeah, we played it in 2024. Yeah. I'm sort of searching for inspiration now. I'm searching for inspiration. It kind of feels like... maybe... Do you know what? Okay, right. Let's go with the... maybe don't overthink it. What happens if we just set any two numbers that add up to 1400? You know? What if it's just any two numbers that add up to 1400? C is different all the time depending on atmosphere, different in fibre optics, different in water. C is only true C in vacuum. That is absolutely true. You are quite right. I mean, I'm talking about, yeah, I mentioned speed of light in different media. That is not the fundamental universal constant C. You're absolutely correct. Consider E equals mc squared. Changing C would alter the energy density of mass. And there is a lot of effects that would spiral as a result of that. You are correct. We would be fundamentally changing, like, the amount of energy required to create and destroy antimatter, for example. That does mean a lot of things involved in, like, the nuclear, you know, the weak nuclear reaction or the weak nuclear force would change. Yeah. Maybe it would be quite a fundamental change. Now this has ended up blue because we're blue here. What happens if I set this to... Yeah, what happens if I set this to 500 and this to 900? So that's like cyan and that's like pink. So we're still getting green on this. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, there we go. Okay. So it produces a fundamentally different result. So it's not going to be just the case that any two numbers produce the same answer here. So somewhere we're looking for a clue, or we have missed a clue, which tells us what either the top or the bottom number is. And like my puzzle game sense is, oh, hang on, is this the cliff face that Sirrus fell down? It might be, because we saw the whales from there. Maybe that was where he was looking for the whales from. Like, my puzzle game sense is telling me there's got to be something out here. Because why does this area exist? Could also be to do with the telescope at the bottom as well. So we certainly shouldn't forget about that. Do you know what? So Trank is asking, has anyone seen the Aurora in person? Unfortunately, no. I would like to. We did have it a little bit in the UK fairly recently. I say we did, except that, being the UK, total cloud cover for like 5 days, of course. So... we can't get back out the other side unless we go up, round and down. Fine. Although actually, for completeness, we should also check to see that there isn't a basement level when you have the thing round the other way. Mate. Yeah, you ain't remming me out this time. Okay. Right. Secret basement level only accessible from one side of the elevator. Nice. We found it. Even after all these years, I recognized it in an instant. Infinity in a bottle. Let's take a screenshot of that one. Sneaky, sneaky, though. Putting a basement level that you can't access if the elevator's the wrong way around. Boo! Ah, super thin lenses, though. Nice. Okay, we're going to need to take a screenshot of that table as well. We're getting some good data in here. Man. Do you know what? I really don't miss my old workshop days. I really don't. Crystal observations. Max distance between the height of the top and bottom lenses cannot exceed 11 steps. It seems like the light is unable to penetrate the ink of the book if the distance is too great. To allow for needed refraction, no two sequential lenses can have a matching iris size. Each lens's colour frequency must be unique, excellent observation. To compensate for its extreme refraction, any lens set to use the highest frequency colour must also use the smallest iris. To compensate for extreme refraction, any lens set to use the highest frequency must use the smallest iris. Okay. If a lens sits between two small iris lenses, it must be equal in distance to both. Lens frequency must decrease, but that's crossed out, in order as they get closer to the book. Can increase or decrease, but they must do so in order. Even with the alteration of the base crystal shape into a flat lens, the laws of physics cannot be circumvented. Do you know what, Atrus? Just get Catherine. This is where it gets kind of wild, right? Just get Catherine to write you an age where the laws of physics enable you to see into a linking book without linking. Like, that's all you gotta do. Like, come on. Alien Writer asks a very interesting question. If you travel to a universe with different physics, does your body obey the new physics? I don't know. Like, clearly you must be able to survive in the new realm. Oh, cool. Right, so there's your thing. Ah, there's your steps. Okay. Oh, that's 20 steps up. Oh, But then how would you be observing? Like, where's the viewer? Where's the viewer? I like the setup. The setup is really cool. We're going to, like... So we've got Stone Ship Channelwood. We've got Myst. Nice. A blank one. Celentic. Classic. Mechanical. And Riven. Oh, okay. That'll be how you, like, zap the book, I guess. Right, and it's going to display on the walls of the chamber, I suppose. Okay. So... we still need to know... Okay. Going back then to our notes. We've got some notes about lens colour and shape. We've got some notes about how to... we've got some notes about how to set the lenses up. Infinity in a bottle. Maybe that's Riven. It's unclear. Like, we've got an address for, like, Stone Ship and Channelwood. So we can test those out. I mean, maybe... We shall repurpose the towers to allow the manipulation of the lights in the sky and project it through the lenses, giving us much finer control. We will need to find the correct combined frequency and construct an additional tower to transfer the light to the imaging device, but I believe that work will go quickly. Like, the way he writes that there kind of makes it sound like the individual frequencies don't matter, that actually it is just the combined frequency that matters. So maybe we should focus specifically on... So yeah, maybe we should focus specifically on trying to, like, see stone ship, for example. So stone ship's in there. We've got at the top here... we can change the colour. So that's a yellow colour. It's a... Wait, we can move that up and down, but... but this one doesn't have a... That's weird, isn't it? So this one, and this one all have apertures. The top one, however, doesn't have an aperture. Well, okay. I don't know. Let's start at the bottom, okay? This would be a 1. Here, I'll show you my notes so you can see what I'm going for. So that would be a 1. We're going for... middle, I suppose. Yeah, middle amount of openness. Middle amount of openness, I suppose. Yeah. And then this one is like... Oh, what colour even is that? Green? Yeah, that looks like a green. Okay. Then going up 1, we've got at step number 4, we've got purple. Oh, shoot. Hang on a minute. Purple? I don't see purple as being an option, to be honest. Okay. And then we've got... It is like the smallest aperture. Yeah, I've kind of got a bit of a problem here, because as I zoom in on these... There we go, right. It's... As I zoom in and out, they are... they're kind of moving to like... maybe it's like a dark blue. Right, and it's smallest aperture for that one. Then we've got 7 up here. You've got to then move away from it and then move back towards it. So 7, and that's like a red or a pink, maybe like a magenta. That sounds good, and it's in the middle. Fine. And then this one up here is 10. Like, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. Widest aperture, it's in yellow. So let's give that a go. Did it work? No. No, it didn't. So, something is wrong. Something's wrong with what we've done here. But like 10, 7, 4, 1. And then we've got, yeah, yellow, pink. It certainly looks more like a purple than a blue, doesn't it? Oh, maybe the bottom one is cyan rather than green. Maybe the bottom one's a cyan rather than a green. Let's try that. Hey, there we go. Ooh. Ooh, you can kind of stick your face straight in it. Okay. So yeah, only the combined frequency matters. The actual exact numbers, not as important. Excellent. Okay, well, that's going to leave us in a really, really great spot to then look at Channelwood and then see what else we can find, maybe with this infinity in a bottle clue that we have, without having the exact numbers to replicate. Unfortunately, though, my friends, that's going to be all we have time for in today's episode and today's stream. But you know what? Thank you all so much for coming along to my first stream back. This has been the first evening stream that I've done since my most recent child was born, like 7 months ago, and it's been really great coming back and chatting with you guys live for the first time in a long time. And thank you all very much for the support. And if I can make the schedule work to make this a regular thing again, I would really love to. We'll finish off Rime next time, and I'm really looking forward to getting back to Uru once we are sort of back into the swing of it. But yeah, thank you all very much for coming along. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, please do consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. I will see you very soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.